Hey guys, Ricardo here. Welcome to another blog tech tips. And of course today guys, I'm going to focus on the Fortress Security app. Now the Fortress Security app is the app that's associated with the Fortress Security system. And as you can see here, this is the Fortress Security system and this is the main control panel. Now, of course, there is a optional app that you can actually use along with said panel. And for most people, they might decide not to use it. But I'm actually here just to run you through the app and tell you the advantages, show you the disadvantages, and why you should definitely download the app. Now, of course, the S03 system, as seen over here, guys, is a Wi-Fi based system. And some people might say, or in the reviews, they might say that this is not a Wi-Fi system, but it's actually a Wi-Fi system. And in order to access the Wi-Fi feature, what you need is, of course, you need a wireless internet connection or Wi-Fi at home. And of course, you need to activate the wireless feature to connect it to the phone by punching in a special code. And I'll show you that code in just a minute. And of course, once you do that, you can actually bind it to the app as seen here. Now, I'll just launch the app and run you through what it looks like. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm connected to the internet. So I'm just going to launch. And this is the Fortress app. Alright, and as you can see here guys, this is the main Fortress panel. And you can see right over here, you'll see all the main features. And you can see, of course, the area above here. I'll blur that out. That says the main designation or the name that you have given to your system that can be named after your house. And of course, down here, we have the main control units. Now, if you know the app, you'll realize that the same features are actually here on this key fob here. And you can see here, you'll see SOS. That's right there. There is the home arm in which just the door and window sensors will be on. But of course, the motion sensor will be off. There is the regular armed feature as shown here that will arm the system, and as soon as motion is detected anywhere in the house, along with if the doors are open, it will actually alarm. You can unlock as seen here, over here again. And of course, there's this feature here, and I think this one has to do with the call feature. And of course, that for that one, you have to connect your S03 Fortress system to the telephone line. And in case of emergency, it will actually send out a call to designated parties, and you can designate more than one. Down here you'll see camera. You can connect a camera. Over here you have the history of when the system was armed, disarmed, and so on. So if you look over here, I could go into arm history, disarm history. I can also tell when the alarm was tripped in such cases such as loss of power, somebody opened a door or so on, and it keeps track of everything and gives a date and when it was triggered. Of course, I won't show you this since some sensitive information is shown. So again, you have management. You can go into the management area. You can go back, and once you're in the management area, guys, you have, of course, a bunch of stuff. You can have your contacts in case of who you need to call. You have the sensors. You can actually configure them. You have the outlets in case you have smart outlets. There's the Wi-Fi connection, the network. There's the security settings, and of course you have panel settings, authorized users who can log in. You have app settings, Fortress security store, and so on. So for right now, I'm just going to go back to the main home screen. And of course on the main home screen, guys, as I said, all I gotta do here is to basically launch, and I'll give you a rough idea of what it sounds like. So if I come over here, you'll notice right over here, I have the system in the background. So just notice once I launch, I don't want to trigger the system, so it start making a bunch of noise. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to show you what would happen if I set this to home mode. So if I go ahead and tap home, and you can see over here, it does say home, and it shows home being highlighted. And if you look again, guys, I can easily disable the system by going the unlock feature. And you just heard that, guys, and of course the notification for home is now disabled. And of course the same could be said for other features, and you can see you have out, you have alarm, and so on, and all of that. So the system does show and of course guys, you have the key fob that over here that would do the same thing. And if I just went ahead and tap here, what would happen is that it would automatically arm the home mode or just the general mode. This one is for when you're at home, like in the night, as the motion sensors will be off, and this one is when you leave the house, so everything will be turned on. Now of course guys, as I said, it works quite easily, and the reason why I recommend the app guys is because if you're going to use the app, what could happen is that if you could be somewhere in the yard, and what you can do once the doors are closed, you can simply press the button and it will automatically enable the system. Likewise, you could leave home and you could basically control the system remotely. So what you could do instead of controlling it over the phone is you could basically arm or disarm the system in case somebody's heading toward the house and you want to let them in. Or of course you could, in case the system is triggered, you could check your security cameras, and in case of anything you could basically respring the system and rearm the system. And of course the history does give you a clear indication of what mode last the system was in, and I like that about the system a lot. And of course guys, with just this alone you wouldn't need to use the telephone feature, but of course the telephone feature is a nice additional feature to be added in along with all the other features. And of course the app does give you direct control with the panel whenever you're adjusting stuff as volume and so on. What you have to do is you have to actually manually program in all of the features by knowing the code, and then of course adjust the volume and so on. With the app, all you gotta do is just go into settings. For example, let I just show you here right now. If I wanted to adjust something, all I had to do was go into management, and let's say for example I go into panel settings, and of course if I want, I could set the delay here. In other words, if I want a slight delay before the system alarms, I could do that. If I want the auto arm or disarm feature, I could do that. If I want to adjust the date and time, I could do it from here. Battery notices, I could just easily go in here and check the features for battery notices, such as if panel is turned off, if I want to be told in case somebody tries to cut power to the building, I can have it notify me here. And of course if there's low battery, in case some of the sensors are going, I could actually allow it or turn on or off the feature here, so I'll be notified. And of course again guys, the siren or ring, if I go in here, you can see you can affect how long the siren will be on, and of course it's displayed in seconds. Of course you can also disable the siren, and of course you can control the PSTN ring in terms of choosing what you want for the ring or so on. So I could do all of that through the panel here. I can also go into volume. You can see it says voice volume, you can set it there. Alarm volume, you can set it as well. Now of course it will actually tell you, so for example it tells you that you can set between 0 and 1, and of course all you got to do is just punch in the figures and confirm. And of course this will program the panel over here by giving you what you want in terms of setting the panel to a certain volume or a certain ring or so on. But of course guys, remember that if you are not going to use the app, you'd have to manually punch in everything over here and know the code. And of course guys, I'm going to show you next what the manual looks like. Okay guys, the setup process is quite easy. They do give a entire manual that's dedicated to the app. It's relatively easy to set up once you follow the correct instruction. There's also the main manual, but of course, as I said guys, you can actually find the information on this page here, which is page 14 of the manual. And of course you have to know that it's the S03 system, Wi-Fi system, and of course it shows you right here what to do step by step, from step 1 right here all the way down. It does tell you what to do, how to maneuver through the configuration of the app, and of course what to do on the panel by typing in the codes as seen here. And of course once you enable the Wi-Fi while having it connected to the same network as you want to have the S03 system connected to, and once you do all of this as shown here, which shows it in detail, and you follow the correct instruction on the app, what will happen is that easily it will allow you access. And of course there's a few other things guys. You can actually trigger SOS mode from the app. So for example, if you're away and you see something through your camera, which can be a separate system or a part of the Fortress system, you can simply trigger the SOS button remotely, and you don't have to be anywhere in the same area. You could have actually be halfway across the planet. As long as your home has Wi-Fi and you have a good Wi-Fi connection, you should be good. And I love that the messages do pop up on screen. So while you're on the main screen here, if something were to happen, such as the system were to be armed or disarmed, what that means that the messages would actually show up here, and you would be notified that the system was armed and just disarmed. Likewise, you could go into your mail, and for important messages such as a sensor was tripped, what that means that you do get notification by email along with notification by or via the app. So guys, as I was saying, make sure that you do get the app along with the Fortress S03 system. If you do not use the app, what that means that you're going to miss out on a lot of key features. And actually, the main reason for getting the Wi-Fi enabled S03 system is to actually have the ease and convenience of using the app. So alright guys, Ricardo from Blog Tech Tips reviewing the app, which is a well-made app that's filled with cool features that extends the Fortress S03 system. Alright guys, Ricardo saying bye until next time. Bye.